Angelica, why are you laughing?
I was waiting for you to demonstrate that you were meditating.
Well, and thanks to Rod for the opening line, because he said the program has you meditating for about 5 minutes. So here goes. Oh, present the meditation. That's different. So trying to not steal Kent's thunder. For me, a spiritual experience is one that causes me to think about my very small place in familiar dimensions such as space, time, and distance. Here are a few examples. From science, Stephen Hawking's The History of Time explains that the Big Bang started, and if you don't like questions that raises, like where did it start, we should be able to calculate it backwards. The one that bothers me most is, where's it going? It's expanding infinitely into what? Data from the Webb telescope reports light from galaxies arriving from 13.5 billion years ago. That makes me feel very small. From the natural world, in college, discovering the theory of plate tectonics, which has large chunks of the Earth floating like ice cubes on a molten core for perhaps 3 or 4 billion years. That perspective. I like my ice cube. Hope it doesn't melt. We visited Canyonlands, Utah, a spectacular park, and saw 323 million years of sedimentary strata in one of the canyons. A dizzying history of shallow seas, deserts, more shallow seas, more deserts. You kind of get the idea there. Yeah. In Hawaii, we hovered over an active volcano in a helicopter and saw Earth being made in the here and now. Though we also wondered about the helicopter maintenance, you know. I've come face to face with other species in natural settings, wild animals and fish, and wondered if they're just as curious about me as I am about them. What are they thinking? Fight or flight? Eat or be eaten? From music, in the early 70s, I saw Pavarotti singing Ave Maria to Pope John II on public television. The lyrics less important than the emotion and the talent of the man paying deference to someone he respected a lot. We experienced the same song at night in a small village in Tuscany, watching young men practicing soccer under lights that they had to put coins in to get the lights to come on, but they were practicing to Ave Maria. So why did they choose that song on a weeknight under the lights with no one watching and no one listening? That's pretty powerful. I hear Amazing Grace often, a song of redemption written by a slave trader who later became enslaved himself, freed and went back to slave trading, until a near-death experience changed him into a Protestant minister. The same song is played at funerals by bagpipers to comfort the living, offering redemption in the afterlife. Of course, some Scots claim that the only instruments you can hear in heaven are bagpipes. And then the same tune, played by Michigan native Victor Wooten from Muskegon, on a bass with a riff that lasts 7 minutes, that will absolutely stop you. From literature and reading, our granddaughter reads reading to her younger cousin, The Hungry Caterpillar, even though she couldn't read and she was holding the book upside down. But she was reading. And for you book clubbers out there, the recent book, The Measure. If a mysterious string could tell you how long you would live, would you want to know? And if you knew, would your behavior change? So in this community of questions, how did you all choose to be here? Your stories often give me pause and new perspectives on the road I've traveled and the road you've traveled. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad to be here. To me, spiritual experiences are everywhere. The light in me salutes the light and spirit in all of you.